I'm going to teach you how to make a fun fold expanding panel step card. It's a lot easier than it looks, and you're not going to want to miss the free project sheet and the template that I've included. I'm going to be using Secret C cardstock for the base of my card. This is cut 4 1/4 by 9 1/2 inches. We're going to do some simple score lines. The first one is going to be at 5 1/2 inch. I'm making sure it's aligned right here across the top ledge. I'll use that light blade for scoring. I'm going to open up the extendable arm and I'm going to slide over to 6 1/2 inches and we're going to score again. And then 7 1/2 inches. And then one more at 8 1/2 inches. I'm going to close the extendable arm, and what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the cardstock to the left. So now all your score lines are here near the top. I've just used a silver colored pencil to mark where those score lines are. Once again, I'm turning it here so the score lines are near the top. We're going to open up the paper trimmer and we're going to line this up at the 1 1/2 inch mark. Again, making sure your paper is nice and straight along the top. And you're going to score from the top to that very first score line here. So I'm going to close that up and I can see it here. I can slide it right down. And there's indicators here on the blade, which I know are going to be very difficult to see in the video, but I can see exactly where I'm stopping. I'm now going to open this up and I'm going to back it up to 3/4 of an inch. Now, while that seems unintuitive, because we usually start with the shallowest score line or cut and then work our way across, there's a reason. So we're going to scoot this over to 3/4 of an inch. And this time we're going to score all the way from the top, all the way here to the 3rd score line. With that nice and straight here at the top, we're going to go ahead and close that. And we are going to score all the way down here to that silver mark. Now, when it's all finished, it's going to look like this. I've just gone over them with the silver pencil. I like to use a long tipped pair of scissors for this next step. If you're very proficient with your paper trimmer, you absolutely can do that. I'm going to turn this now so that the score lines are here near the bottom. We are going to cut straight across on that score line. I've just gone over it with the pencil so that you can see it. And I'm going to stop there at the next score line, which you'll see marked here. I'm going to turn it now and I'm going to come on an angle. So I am going to cut from here to here. Using my scissors once again, we are going to snip on an angle. Now we're going to go straight across this line that's right here. And then we're going to do one more angled cut. So we're going to come from here up to the corner. So right across here. Lining up my scissors once again, and we are going to snip. Now that that's all finished, I'm going to flip it over. The score line here towards the center is the center mark of the card base. I'm going to go over it with my bone folder to reinforce that edge. And then we're going to accordion fold these. So this first one towards the center is going to be a valley fold, which means it gets folded in on top of itself. I'm looking to make sure this is nice and even. And then again, back on top of itself. So that's a mountain fold. And then reinforce it with your bone folder. And then finally, this one's going to go back to make another valley fold. And then you're going to go over it with your bone folder. When you're finished, you're going to have this. On the base of the card, I'm going to add a piece of designer series paper. This comes from a brand new package that's being released to you on July 1st. It's called Violet Dreams and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to add some liquid glue around the outside edges. That is going to get adhered here, leaving a nice margin all the way around. I am going to work inside out. That's going to be a lot easier for you as well to construct. Panel number 2 measures 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. And I'm just going to add a piece of beautiful designer series paper from that package once again. Designer series paper is going to do all the work for you. Use those bold, pretty patterns that you've been avoiding perhaps and add those here to the second panel. This panel now is going to get adhered to here. I'm going to make a number 2 here for the second panel, so it's going to be easy for you to follow. It is going to be the straight edge versus the angled edge. I'm going to open this up to make it nice and flat to make it easy for my hand. I'm going to use my liquid glue and I'm going to add it inside that perimeter. With the glue in place, you're going to want to make sure that the bottom edge is going to be flush to the base of the cardstock. Do not extend past that crease line, otherwise, of course, it's going to get scrunched. So I'm just going to press that down there and allow that to dry. There's one more panel, and this is called panel 1. I've got another piece of designer series paper here from that exact same package. That's going to get adhered here. I'm going to label this panel number 1, and that again is going to go in this area where there's a straight cut here at the top. So I'm going to add some liquid glue to this area with the card base flat to make it easy for your hand. We're going to do just like we did with the second panel. I want to make sure that this edge here meets the edge of the card base. If necessary, pick it up and give it a good tap, and then press that glue in place. While it's flat is a great time to decorate it. I'm going to use a piece of basic white cardstock. I'm using black memento ink, and I've pulled out the image from that coordinating stamp set to the designer series paper. The stamp set is called Framed Violets, and as I said, it's brand new, coming to you on July 1st. So stamps and coordinating dies. I'm going to ink up the image, and that's going to get stamped here. I used my Stampin' Blends alcohol-based markers to color in the image, which are the colors that coordinate to the designer series paper. Ahead of time, I went ahead and created a greeting, and you'll notice that I made the background layer a little bit shorter than the greeting itself. That's going to allow it to stand out nicely here on the designer series paper. Now, before I get started, I want to put these two pieces together because I want them to overlap. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue to the bottom of the leaves here, and I'm going to maneuver this so that the stems are to the back, but that the leaves are towards the front. That now allows this to be one piece because I want to elevate it. So I'm going to flip this upside down. I'm grabbing my dimensionals, and these are double-sided pieces of pre-cut foam tape, which make them really easy to use. Here, that area is a little bit too small for a full-size dimensional, so I'm going to use one of my mini dimensionals, and I'll attach that here. I'm going to put a couple others here in the center to make sure that this is well balanced for mailing. With the dimensionals in place, I'm going to go ahead and remove that paper backing using my Take Your Pick tool and the paper piercing tool attachment. Coming back here to the card base, this is going to get attached here. I'm careful to make sure that it's well centered. I'm going to leave a little bit of that designer series paper peeking from the top, but I can already see I've got a little bit of a boo-boo. Have you ever done this? You get a dimensional showing. So let me give you a great tip about the Take Your Pick tool. It dials out and it reveals a spatula on the other end, and you can see mine is well loved. And that is to remove those little mistakes. So I can come up here and I can scrape off that dimensional. I can see that this is going to flop a little bit coming in and out of the envelope. So I want to teach you about card surgery. I'm going to come in with one of the mini dimensionals, and I'm going to take off that paper backing while it's right here on the paper itself. I'm going to use that tool to extend my reach. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully just lift this, and I'm going to tuck that mini dimensional behind here where it will not show. Check and make sure. If it shows, then of course you can correct that now. The last step is to add the inside of the card base, and I did do that ahead of time. It all comes from the same stamp set and of course the same dies. Let's go ahead and let's add our liquid glue to the back side of this panel. I'm going to flip these back so that this is nice and straight. I'm going to center it, but I'm going to gravitate just a little bit more to the left side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that panel number 2, and I want to make sure that it's hidden behind here. So while the card is in the envelope and it comes out, you cannot see the signing of the card. To finish off the card, I'm going to use these beautiful adhesive backed blooms. They have glue dots already on the back, so I'm going to use the darker one. And I'm going to place that inside this flower here. That's going to hide anything that peeks through, and it creates some beautiful contrast to the designer series paper. Finally, you can use the white or the freesia, but I'm going to close the card base for this because you want to make sure this upper panel here is in the right position for your embellishments. So I'm going to place one there and another one here on a slight angle. Then when the card is placed in a regular standard A2 envelope, it's going to look like this, and then it's going to pop out and expand to show those panels. It's absolutely a stunning way for you to use that designer series paper. Now I've got several other samples to share with you to give you some other ideas. The next card is going to be using the Lovely Arrangements bundle. So it's the stamps and the coordinating dies. I created this card using the Lovely and Beautiful Designer Series paper, but I stuck in something a little bit interesting here. Do you see the shimmer to that? This is called Shimmering Stripes. It's a specialty paper that's coming out on July 1st. Mixing and matching new products with old products is one of my favorite things to do so I can expound on my purchases. These beautiful gilded wings accents are laser die cut. You get a full 12 by 12 sheet of them already done. All you have to do is just pop them out. They come in various shapes and sizes of butterflies. I paired it well with that gorgeous gold foil accents and a simple greeting, but you can see as these expand that I've added another flower here, and that is from that stamp set that coordinates with this greeting. I added some metallic threads to put those mixed metal appearances of silver and gold together, and of course the inside of the card, playing up a few more of those gold butterflies. The silver rhinestones play up those silver stripes beautifully. And I've got one more for you. This next card uses the Fun for Fall coordinating bundle. So it's the stamps and the dies. Many of you are already beginning to start on your seasonal cards. So I have a great idea for you with this one as well. Definitely a bit more detailed with the coloring, but the dies do all the work. I love the simple color palette of this Gingham Gallery Designer Series paper, also brand new, with the stamps and dies on July 1st. I colored them in with alcohol Stampin' Blends markers and then die cut them. And again, you'll see those expanding panels here. The center panel I kept very simple with a Country Woods Designer Series paper, but I played up that area here with some more sunflowers to bring continuity to my image. Added a very simple greeting up here at the top with a handmade banner, and then of course the inside of the card, and added a simple neutral embellishment to this one. Regardless of which one that you want, you're going to be able to find that they are freestanding. They're going to fit in a standard size envelope, and that's going to give you lots of ideas to create your beautiful handmade fun fold cards. As always, I'd love to know your favorites. Do me a favor right now and pop down in the comments and let me know which one of those cards that you favor. Your feedback is super important to me as I plan new projects for you. If you love being in the know about new products, promotions, and of course, free shipping, everything happening here at Lisa's Stamp Studio is available in my free weekly e-newsletter. You can get that information right over on my website. It'll pop right up for you when you start to scroll. There's lots of ways for you to support me here at Lisa's Stamp Studio. YouTube channel memberships is one. I have a vast PDF tutorial library, and you're not going to want to miss this. Stamp Studio memberships were designed just for you. These are exclusive card making tutorials that come to your inbox every single Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I don't share these project ideas anywhere else, and there's 2 levels to choose from. Level 1 is just $5 for the whole month, and again, you're going to get pictures, cutting dimensions, supplies, and step-by-step instructions for a brand new card idea. But if you'd like a little bit more, there's level 2 at $10 a month. You get everything in level 1, but level 2 also includes a monthly fun fold card, a discount code for my PDF tutorial library, and of course, exclusive merchandise that we have designed for you. You can get all the information on my website in the red menu bar titled Memberships. Before you go, check out one of these videos so I can keep you inspired until we are together again. And thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.